girl, why you gotta be like that? Why you gotta hang up on me, then you go right back? How you compare me to the that you gave your heart to? Probably cause you ain't used to someone being on for you. You the MVP, baby, you the plug, you the one I take home to mama. You know I pull up when you holler. Make you better, make sure you ain't f***ing up. Love it when you talk that shit. Thank you, slick.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I have a TEAS review, tips and tricks on how to pass your TEAS test. So if you guys are taking your TEAS soon, or you just want to be prepared beforehand, then keep watching this video. So if you don't know, the TEAS test is a nursing entrance exam. So if you are a pre-nursing student, then you know about this test, and you know that it is no joke and it is very, very serious. So ATI TEAS, that's the name of the test. So the TEAS stands for the Test of Academic Skills. So this is a test that tests you in 4 sections: reading, math, science, and English and language. So I took my TEAS in February last month, and I scored a 87.3, which puts me in the advanced level. And so I know that this test is no joke, and I want to help other people that are going to be taking this test. So let's get into it. So first, I'm just going to tell you, the rundown of my test. So for reading, I got an 83. For math, I got an 87.5. For science, I got a 93.6. And English, I got an 87.5. So that's the rundown of my test. And now I'm going to tell you what I use, how I studied, and all that jazz. So the book that I got is the ATI TEAS Secrets book, and honestly, y'all, this book is amazing. Let me turn down my brightness. I'm like a little too bright. But yeah, honestly, this book is amazing. Like, this book really has all you need to know and more. So I definitely recommend this book. I read it from cover to cover. I read everything in here. It is very detailed on the science part, which is what I really like, because the science is really what I study for the most out of all of the subjects, which I can tell from my score in math. Which I can tell by my score in the science section. So I did spend a lot of time on the science, and I really liked that. This book had a lot of content for the science, so I would recommend that. Okay, so first of all, this book has 3 practice tests, and I did all 3. What I would recommend though is when you get this book, that you take the first practice test first, and then based on like your score from that, then I think you should go back in the book and review those sections that you didn't do so great on, because I think that would help you save more time, so you don't read through the entire book and then take the practice test, because then you don't really know what you don't know. But yeah, so I would definitely recommend taking the first practice test first, and then whatever you don't do well on, you go back into those sections and review them. So in this book, it gives you the whole breakdown. So we have here, there are 4 sections. The reading, you have 64 minutes. There's 53 questions, and 47 of them are scored. So the reading section, you really need to be able to manage your time very wisely when you're doing the reading. I would try not to have to go back and reread the passage like too many times. It's great to read the questions first, skim through the questions first, and then start reading, so at least you know what to look for. Because honestly, this 64 minutes is really not enough time. Like, it's really not, because the passages are not all that. Some are longer than others, but you really have to be able to get the information reading it the first time. So I would definitely be sure to manage your time when you are doing the reading section, because honestly, the time really does go by fast. So yeah, that's my tip for the reading part. So the reading tests you in key ideas and details, craft and structure, and integration of knowledge and ideas. So that's the reading. Now for mathematics, you have 54 minutes, and there are 36 questions, and 32 of them are scored. So the math tests you on number and algebra and measurement and data. So the math You definitely need to know your formulas for area, for volume, perimeter, you know, of a circle, of a rectangle, of a square. Know those. You also need to know your conversions. Definitely watch this video called King Henry Died Unexpectedly by Drinking Chocolate Milk. That was a savior for me. If you remember that acronym, then you'll be fine for conversions. Any other conversions, I believe that you will get the formula if I'm not mistaken. But if not, then memorize a couple of them anyway. But you definitely do need to know, you know, the area, those type of formulas. But yeah, the math section, 54 minutes. That actually went by fast too, for me at least. There is a calculator on the test. You know, on the corner there's a calculator. Where I took my test, they actually gave you a calculator, like, you know, a simple, really simple calculator, a little calculator. And yeah, the calculator did save time, but don't rely on it too much because it will take up time and you already don't have enough already. But honestly, I didn't feel like the math was too difficult. I felt like I didn't feel like the math was too bad. And that is because you guys definitely need to check out a YouTuber named Brandon Craft. He is amazing. Like, he has a whole playlist, a breakdown of the TEAS math section. Every question, he has like similar questions from the ATI manual book. That's definitely a must. You should definitely get that book. It gives you the whole breakdown of what you need to know on the test, and it's made from the people that actually make the test. But don't use that book alone, I would say, because it's not very detailed. It just gives you like, you need to know this, you need to know this, you need to know this, but it's not going into detail about it or description about it. But that book is definitely great. The math quizzes in there helped me a lot for the test. So yeah, definitely check out Brandon Craft. He is amazing. 10 out of 10. You will do well if you watch his videos and you really understand the concept of each of the questions and what is being asked. Like, really know what the question is asking you. Also, what else did I use? I also used Khan Academy. That was really great. I use it for the math, the science, and English as well. And definitely use that to your advantage. Use everything to your advantage because it's out there for you to use. So use it. Khan Academy was great. Brandon Craft was great. And yeah, that definitely helped me in the math. And I got a 87.5 on the math. So I'm happy with that. Also, now to the science. Okay, the science, you have 63 minutes to answer 53 questions, and out of the 53 questions, 47 are scored. So for science, it is human anatomy and physiology, life and physical sciences, and then scientific reasoning. When I tell you guys that this science section is A and P, you need to know your A and P. I really recommend that if you're taking this TEAS test that you finish your prereqs, because I feel like that was really beneficial to me. Because if I had to teach that on my own, teach that to myself on my own, I don't know how that would have went. But I definitely recommend you finishing your prereqs before you take the TEAS. Honestly, I highly recommend that, and it gives you more time to study as well, because this does take preparation. Honestly, the science, 63 minutes, as I said, 53 questions, a lot of AMP. Know all of the systems, every single one of them, all 11 of the body systems. Know them all to the best of your ability, especially the endocrine system. Know your hormones, know where they are secreted. Know it, guys. Know the endocrine, okay? Know it all. Know it all. Know your skin. Know the integumentary, okay? Know it. Know that. So for the science, I studied a lot of things. So this book definitely did a great job with the science portion. Also, the ATI manual was great as well. It tells you exactly what you need to know. but go into depth, research things that you may not really know too well. Also, I use, as I said, Khan Academy, which is really great. I watched a lot of videos. They have crash course. Those are great to help you memorize things for the systems. I looked at my notes, my old AMP notes. I also use an app. I have to mention this. There's an app called Pocket Prep. It's for the T6. I'm gonna leave like the icon right here. This is what it looks like. That is amazing. I got the full version. You get question of the day every day, and also you can like put how many days until your exam. You can do custom exams. It has every subject on there: the reading, the math, the English, the science. And answer as many questions as possible as you can on there. The questions are very good. Representation of questions that you may be asked on the test. It gives you a good layout of what the questions would look like, and I love that it also gives you an explanation as to why the answer is right and why the other answers are not correct, which I think was amazing. So I definitely recommend that app. 10 out of 10. There was also another app called, I believe it was TEAS Mastery. I used that a little bit, but I do like the Pocket Prep a lot better because it's really quick on the go. You can be anywhere and just open it up and do a little 5-10 questions, and you're even more prepared than you were before. So yeah, I definitely recommend that. Also, there is a Facebook group. This group was amazing to me. They are great. There's plenty of people on there that they either took their TEAS already or they are preparing to take their TEAS, and so they're giving a lot of suggestions or questions that you can answer. And they have a lot of files on there, study guides, little quizzes and things like that are very beneficial and very helpful. And I did use two of their files from there, study guides from there, which has a breakdown of everything, like the nitty-gritty, everything that you need to know. So I definitely recommend that, to search for that group, ATI TEAS 6 study group on Facebook. They are amazing and very supportive, and that really helped a lot to be able to break down each and everything on there. So yes, definitely check that out. Now for English language and usage, that is 28 minutes. There are 28 questions and 24 of them are being scored. So in this section, you are tested over conventions of standard English, knowledge of language, and vocabulary acquisition. So the English, honestly, I struggled in the English. I didn't think I would, but I did struggle. I'm really actually surprised on my score. I got an 87.5 because I really thought it was difficult. And then 28 minutes means you only have a minute per question. So it's kind of like you really have to like think quick with some of the questions. Definitely need to know subject-verb agreement. Know your subject-verb agreement. Know your pronoun antecedent. Understand it, get it. Use Khan Academy. That is amazing, great, as I said before. The English really got me. I was surprised. Know how to spell certain words. Know how to spell certain words. So yeah, I don't even know, like, I don't know. I feel like for the English, you just need to do all the practice that you can. All of the practice that you can. Like, if you're just good in English, like you've never had issues and you just got it down packed, then you should be okay. But I thought I would be okay, but it was kind of difficult, like a lot. But this test, this book has great information for the English. It actually has a lot on the English. It tells you misspelled words, things that are commonly misspelled, that happens a lot. You have to know like your types of sentences, you know, compound, complex, simple, that type of thing. You need to know independent clause, dependent clause, phrases. Yeah, I need to know yeah, just a lot, y'all. Know your punctuations. Know when you use a colon or semicolon, those type of things. Know your everything, y'all. Know your prefixes and your suffixes. Know your prefixes and your suffixes. Know those. So yeah, everything that I mentioned, I would definitely recommend this book, but don't let it be the only book that you use. Use all resources that you can find, because you're gonna need everything that you can get for this test. I felt the test was, for me, I felt the test is doable. The test is doable, definitely, absolutely. If I can make an 87.3 advanced score, then so can you, so can anyone else. You just have to really put your mind to it, really focus, really set out a time to study. I studied since December, the end of December, like right after I got out of school. December time up until February, which is when I took my test. So that was, 2 months of studying. If I didn't study every day, it was at least every other day for, I would say, 3 hours. With like one day I would do reading section, next day I would do science, then I would do math, then I would do English, or I would do 2 sections each day, or do all of them, but like a couple questions for each, or like that. But yeah, I studied either every day or every other day, and I stayed consistent with it. If I didn't study a day, I at least did the pocket prep questions, like I did a custom exam, or I just did the question of the day, because you do need a break. Like, don't just be studying, because you're going to overwhelm yourself. But do know how you need to study, because I know studying is different for everyone. If you can't study for 3 hours, do an hour or 30 minutes and take a break, and then do another 30 minutes, something like that. But know how you study and what's effective for you, because what works for someone else may not work for you. So you may have to study more, you may have to study less. Some people have studied for 2 weeks and they're fine. Some people have to study for 3 months, and it all depends on you. But as long as you really take the time and you study this, and you feel like you've done as much as you can, and you don't see what else more you can do, then I think that means that you're ready and you can take this test and you can knock it out the park. And if you don't knock it out the park the first time, there is a second time, there is a third time, there is a fourth time. However many tries it takes you, you will get there, you will make it, you will get the score that you need to get into your nursing program. For me, this is the score that I feel like will get me into my nursing program. And just know that as well. Know the score that your school requires for you to get, and try and get higher than that. But if you feel like all the other requirements you have, like if you have the GPA, if you have the science GPA, and you may not make the highest on your test, but you got what you needed to pass, and that might be fine for you. But if you're on the other side and you really need this test score, then make sure you get it into gear, and you study and you do your thing, because if this is what you want, then you're gonna do it, and you can do it. So yeah, guys, that is all my tips I have for this video. That is how I studied for my ATI TEAS test, and this was a T6 as well. I forgot to mention that this was a T6. But yeah, I hope this helped you guys. If there are any more questions that you have, don't hesitate to leave them down below in the comments section. Also, one more thing, if you guys want me to go into depth about each subject on the test, let me know. I can do separate videos, one for reading, one for science, one for math, and one for English, language if you need that. So let me know in the comments down below. Okay guys, see you next time.
We ain't